President Sisi orders increased oil and gas exploration and expanded incentives for energy and mining investors. Egypt's foreign minister urges consolidating the Sharm Sheikh peace deal and strengthening the Gaza ceasefire. And Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati discusses Gaza reconstruction conference preparations. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has directed officials to step up onshore and offshore oil and gas exploration and expand incentives for energy and mining investors as Cairo moves to boost production and meet rising domestic demand. During a meeting with Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli and Petroleum Minister Karim Badawi, President Sisi reviewed Egypt's long-term strategy for exploration, production and mining development. Badawi outlined drilling plans through 2030, ongoing legal reforms to attract major international investors, and updated seismic survey and gas output projection. He was also briefed on Egypt's participation in the Abu Dhabi International Petroleum Exhibition and Conference, highlighting new investment opportunities and regional partnerships as key pillars for strengthening Egypt's energy security. Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati has urged full implementation of the Quartet Statement on Sudan, stressing the need for a ceasefire and a political process that preserves the country's unity and stability. In a phone call with U.S. Presidential Advisor Masad Boulos, Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati underlined the urgency of a ceasefire in Sudan and of creating the conditions for an inclusive political process that safeguards the country's unity, sovereignty and institutions. He called for full implementation of the Quartet Statement, including a comprehensive humanitarian truce as a precursor to a sustainable political path that restores stability and reinforces the Sudanese state and its national bodies. Egypt has successfully rescued 3 citizens stranded in a border zone between Turkey and Greece after distress calls circulated online, and is warning against illegal migration networks exploiting would-be migrants. The Foreign Ministry announced that 3 Egyptians were recovered from an island in a shared river area between Turkey and Greece in an operation coordinated by the Consular Affairs Department, Egypt's consulate in Istanbul and Turkish authorities. The group was returned safely to Turkish territory. The ministry urged citizens not to fall prey to illegal migration networks that lure people with false promises, citing recent drowning incidents involving Egyptians overseas. It called on all Egyptians abroad to respect residency and immigration laws and to use only official legal channels for travel and work. Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati has affirmed Egypt's intensive efforts to solidify the Sharm Sheikh peace agreement, achieve a lasting ceasefire and ease Gaza's humanitarian crisis. Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati said Egypt is working intensively to entrench the Sharm Sheikh peace agreement, achieve a durable ceasefire and improve humanitarian access into Gaza. In talks with Swiss Justice and Interior Minister Bit Jans, he reviewed preparations for the International Conference on Gaza's early recovery and reconstruction. The 2 sides also discussed the conflict in Sudan, with Abdulati stressing the need for a ceasefire and a political process that preserves Sudan's unity. He hailed 90 years of Egyptian-Swiss relations, welcomed deeper cooperation and witnessed the signing of agreements on migration and diplomatic visa exemptions. Egypt and Pakistan say any new UN Security Council resolution on Gaza must end the war and pave the way for a just peace that guarantees Palestinian self-determination and statehood. In a phone call, Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati and Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister Ishaq Dar stressed that the draft Security Council resolution on Gaza must deliver a full halt to the war and create conditions for a just peace and viable Palestinian state. The two officials welcomed growing bilateral ties and pledged to deepen cooperation. They reviewed developments in Gaza, the Sharm el-Sheikh peace plan, and Egypt's preparations for the reconstruction conference, while reaffirming their shared commitment to regional stability and Palestinian rights. Meanwhile, Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati has discussed preparations for the upcoming Gaza Early Recovery and Reconstruction Conference with Palestinian Vice President Hussein al-Sheikh, stressing the need for broad regional and international backing. In a phone call, Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati and Palestinian Vice President Hussein al-Sheikh reviewed preparations for the International Conference on Early Recovery and Reconstruction of Gaza. Both sides underlined the need for strong regional and international support to ensure any pledges are effectively implemented on the ground. They also discussed ongoing UN Security Council deliberations on Gaza and related security arrangements. Abdulati highlighted wide support for the Sharm el-Sheikh peace plan as a practical framework to end the war, secure a just peace, and advance Palestinian statehood and self-determination. The Egyptian Museum in Tahrir Square is marking 123 years since its opening, celebrating more than a century as the world's first museum dedicated to showcasing Egypt's ancient civilization. Opened in 1902, the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir Square was the first museum built specifically to display Egyptian antiquities and has since become a landmark of Cairo and global Egyptology. Home to thousands of unique artifacts from different historical eras, it has accompanied some of the country's most important archaeological discoveries and served as a hub for scientific research and the study of ancient Egypt. Today, as it celebrates 123 years, the museum remains a key reference point for scholars and gateway for visitors seeking to explore Egypt's rich heritage. Egypt's Health Minister Khaled Abdel Ghaffar has launched the National Digital Health Strategy 2025-2029, a roadmap to transform the healthcare system through advanced information and communication technologies. Speaking at the third Global Congress on Population, Health and Human Development, Minister Khaled Abdel Ghaffar said the National Digital Health Strategy aims to build a more efficient, equitable and sustainable health system by 2029. The plan focuses on creating an integrated, people-centered digital health ecosystem that ensures safe and fair access to high-quality services. It includes developing secure, interoperable platforms and unifying health data at the national level to support better decision-making, streamline services and improve patient outcomes across Egypt. Egypt is stepping up plans to build integrated medical complexes nationwide as Health Minister Khaled Abdel Ghaffar meets a European Bank delegation to boost investment and upgrade the country's health infrastructure. On the sidelines of the Third World Conference on Population, Health and Human Development, Deputy Prime Minister and Health Minister Khaled Abdel Ghaffar discussed with a delegation from the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development ways to develop Egypt's health facilities, attract more investment into the sector. He said the ministry is implementing a comprehensive plan to build new hospitals in growing urban areas and to modernize existing facilities with upgraded infrastructure and advanced equipment, improving efficiency and service quality. The talks reviewed investment opportunities in national health projects, models for international standards, hospital management and plans to expand integrated medical complexes, emergency units and intensive care, in partnership with the private sector to deliver sustainable, high-quality care across all governorates. Egypt's universal health insurance system now covers more than 5 million people across 6 governorates, with officials hailing it as the country's largest ever overhaul of the health sector after 1 year of the National Health Strategy. At the World Conference on Population Health and Human Development, May Farid, CEO of the Universal Health Insurance Authority, said the scheme was expanded to over 5 million citizens in 6 governorates, including about 905,000 low-income people whose premiums are fully paid by the state. She described the program as the biggest reconstruction of Egypt's modern health system, unifying efforts under clear priorities and data-driven digital monitoring tools. Farid said the authority now contracts with 523 service providers nationwide, among them 148 from the private sector, stressing that the private hospitals are a core pillar of the new system, boosting capacity, geographic coverage and competition to improve quality for patients. Egyptian researcher Dr. Mina Sadrak of U.S. California's Johnson Comprehensive Cancer Center has won the 2025 Hussein Cancer Research Foundation Emerging Researcher International Award, marking a new milestone for Egyptian scientific excellence. California has been named winner of the 2025 Hussein Cancer Research Foundation Emerging Researcher International Track Award, highlighting Egypt's growing footprint in global oncology research. The ceremony in Amman, attended by senior royals, honored leading cancer experts chosen from 205 applicants across 26 countries. Additional prizes recognized international and regional lifetime achievements, pioneering leukemia studies and major training initiatives, underscoring the Foundation's expanding role in advancing cancer research and capacity building over its 5-year history. Egypt's Finance Minister Ahmed Kojak has urged stronger use of multilateral development banks to mobilize private climate investment and cut the cost of green financing for resilient infrastructure. Finance Minister Ahmed Kojak said multilateral development banks must play a bigger role in mobilizing private capital and supporting climate-related projects, particularly in resilient infrastructure. He called for lowering the cost of green financing to help close the climate funding gap. Kojak said Egypt backs expanding guarantees, blended risk structures and hedging tools to unlock private investment and supports reallocating special drawing rights through multilateral development banks to reduce borrowing costs and lengthen maturities for climate vulnerable countries. That brings us to the end of our news bulletin from Egypt. But before we wrap up, here is a recap of the top stories making headlines this hour. President Sisi orders increased oil and gas exploration and expanded incentives for energy and mining investors. Egypt's foreign minister urges consolidating the Sharm el-Sheikh peace deal and strengthening the Gaza ceasefire. And Foreign Minister Badr Abdulati discusses Gaza reconstruction conference preparations. For more stories and live updates, follow Qnews on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok at Qnews EGY. From all of us here, many thanks for watching and stay tuned for more updates on Qnews.